Creatures found in stories that some believe exist but have never been proven to exist, cryptids in Fallout 76 apparently don't want to be cryptids anymore, with most of them more than happy to make their existence abundantly clear to all. But to fully unravel their mysterious origins, or determine why they've begun to reveal themselves now, we will need to dig a little deeper. Which is why in this video, Uranium Fever has partnered with Bethesda to explore the lore of all the cryptids, in an investigation that starts right at the very beginning, where you are Rip Daring now.
The reason Bigfoot hides in the hills.
Leaving the vault of only one mission that doesn't include bounty hunting or the main quest line until it's relevant, because your reclamation day is finding all of the cryptids to reveal the truth and sort the solved from the unsolved. And the good news for you and any other like-minded vault dwellers is you aren't alone, because Appalachia is also home to other cryptid hunters,
Monster hunting going well?
cryptid storytellers,
If you've got the time, I've got a tale.
and cryptid-obsessed allies.
Set unwelcome guests on fire, but not your camp. Got it.
With Raider Punk in particular, a great source of daily quests that could pinpoint exactly where you need to go.
Got a lead that you may want to investigate, if you have time.
And when you're on the hunt, a cryptid stranger and a cryptid savior can also be equipped to lend a hand. But they can't do all the work for you, and perhaps the best way to start your investigation is following in the footsteps of the Truth Seekers, Appalachia's original cryptid hunters, Calvin Vanlo, Ray Gary, and Scoot Conroy, heading to the Vanlo taxidermy to pick up the trail they left behind. A trail that seems to go cold by the end of the Lying Low questline, because this story, which features corporate espionage, a very powerful but unconvincing imposter, and a death that was greatly exaggerated,
Yeah, that's me.
doesn't include an actual cryptid, but the sheep squatch is very real. And is pretty easy to find now, with regular appearances in a host of events, activities and random encounters, but also a guaranteed spawn location found here in Skyline Valley, where you can expect to receive a face full of poisonous quills launched by a surprisingly athletic cryptid, which also uses an array of devastating melee attacks, an AoE ground slam, and a ramming charge, but slowing it down and targeting its only weak point, which it loves to advertise, should eventually put it out to pasture, allowing you to claim a butcher's bounty that should definitely be cooked first. It's highly irradiated meat, producing edible mutton chops, which combined with a clearly marked ear tag,
Sheep. Why sheep?
suggests that this cryptid was once livestock. But to explain how it became this, the wandering storyteller has a range of theories,
The product of fornication, carried out far from the eyes of God.
with the most sensible having a caveat
Perhaps radiation is to blame.
that it couldn't have been from the bombs, because the sheep squatch is a pre-war cryptid, something Ray Gary and two unlucky grad students learnt the hard way. So perhaps allocations like these could have been responsible instead. Heading back to the conspiracy board, another mystery can also be solved. Unsolved death in taxidermy, uncovering the fate of Janelle and Raymond Priblo, who vanished from their cryptid curios in Somersville, a trail that leads to their remains, and the Beast of Beckley, a large wolf with an even larger litter of pups. And during the Lying Low questline itself, a quick detour of the Garahan estate will solve another cryptid mystery, if you can call them that, as the mega sloths, gentle giants now roaming West Virginia, were once the unusual pets of Isaac Garahan.
But it is not mere laziness. Oh no, my friend. It is evolution.
And radiation has certainly done that, mutating Isaac's expert escapees into lumbering behemoths that have retained their general appearance with the addition of a new back-mounted ecosystem, something they will use to ward off predators. A non-hostile cryptid that could be left dangling from their trees in peace, but checking the tree line for another one, you should definitely be on your guard, as the Wendigo won't stay up there for long. Alarming speed, razor-sharp claws, and a staggering scream combine well to make this cryptid a daunting foe, which is often found living alongside, or actually being assisted by, feral ghouls, suggesting there could be a connection there. But each Wendigo does share a specific trait, which you can uncover by looking for Scoot Conroy in that sinking feeling, a trail that begins at his cat-filled shack and ends at the sunken church, where Scoot can still be found at the bottom of a sinkhole as a Wendigo, a transformation that began with cannibalism, just like other named examples you find elsewhere.
Darling Edie. Oh, how delicious you were.
But Wendigos can get much bigger than this, and gearing up to face a colossus like Earl Williams in a freshly nuked Monongah mine is a different challenge altogether, because this titanic entity can summon waves of smaller Wendigos, spit a variety of nastiness, and even send you running for the hills with an uncontrollable fear mechanic. But was this a gradual transformation, or perhaps a very sudden one, with the nuke itself possibly fusing multiple creatures together, a theory that is loosely supported by other Wendigo colossi, typically only showing up in blast zones. This is pure speculation though, as the only confirmed details about Earl are his transformation, like the others, began with cannibalism, followed by insatiable hunger, uncontrollable urges, and gluttony, which draws to a close a successful first hunt, with several cryptid mysteries marked as solved, and the sheepscotch for the moment remaining unsolved. 4 down, 9 more to go, and Raider Punk knows where to go next.
Someone on the radio said there was a headless beast ripping people apart near the lake. How exciting is that, man?
A toxic wasteland, a monstrous town mascot, and an unserious mayor.
The grafted monster's robot handlers are there to keep him safe.
Combined mean you might be surprised to learn that Grafton's monster is actually a tourist, and there are visual clues to its true nature and origin that are much easier to spot once this melee powerhouse has stopped trying to obliterate you with its disproportionately large fists, or bombard you with oil projectiles secreted from blowholes on its shoulders that are also its weakest point. And after targeting those to bring it down, we can get a better look at horribly distorted but vaguely human looking fingers. The last vestiges of its true nature, as the Grafton monster is really Subject AM-53, an FEV experiment from Westtech that not only escaped during the Great War, but was born on the big day itself. And the strain responsible for creating it was actually just a tweaked version of the one used to create Subject AM-52, which was also considered a success, and what was surely a pretty low bar when a living, stable, functioning subject looks like a snallygaster. An abomination covered in ocular organs, a second set of arms reminiscent of a centaur, and large sickle-like claws found on each inner toe. A creature that also likes to spit balls of toxic slime when provoked, and if you let it get too close, its tongue is also its primary melee weapon, swinging it with reckless abandon. What's perhaps most interesting about both of these FEV mutants though, is their general population has increased exponentially from a single original subject, strongly suggesting that both of these cryptids are capable of self-replication. Marking both as solved, it's time to move on to another cryptid the wandering storyteller will warn you about, in a story that is actually extremely accurate.
I've got a tale. An interdimensional being from beyond the void. Its mere presence can warp the mind of all but the most iron-willed.
No exaggeration here, as the Flatwoods monster does boast a range of incredible abilities that include teleportation, health regeneration, and a controlling ability that affects almost every other entity in Fallout 76, covering them in its purple corruptive glow. Except you, it would seem, and him.
You know what they say, when life gives you lemons.
So with potential allies everywhere, it's probably best to hit them hard, and hit them fast, which is doubly true for the variant in Campfire Tales, which will continuously create convincing clones on top of everything else. But finding a Flatwoods monster outside of this event, or during a daily quest, can be tricky if the season isn't just right, with invaders from beyond increasing your chances of bumping into this cryptid during random encounters, hijacked public events, or the main seasonal event itself, presenting a great opportunity to peer inside its helmet in camera mode to reveal its true identity. And it's an identity that the Enclave also appear to be aware of, as the face looking back at you belongs to a Zayton. But not just any Zayton, as unfamiliar tiny legs can also be seen inside its battlesuit, with a trip to alien daily ops also revealing its true name to be an alien inquisitor. So could this Zayton be a mutant of some kind then, the source of its incredible powers also a result of its mutation? It does seem very likely, but with its identity only fully revealed for now, and anything else simply speculation for the moment, perhaps the Flatwoods monster belongs somewhere in the middle. Waving goodbye to the invaders from beyond, and with our feet firmly back on the ground, Fallout 76's most terrestrial cryptid is up next.
Hot damn! That was one big-ass turtle!
And this cryptid has come a long way since its debut in Once in a Blue Moon, as the Ogwa now has a bleached variant introduced at Burning Springs, with both of them now regular sightings at different events, random encounters, and even a fixed spawn location found here in Skyline Valley. So if finding this cryptid isn't a problem, then perhaps a better question is, are they worth your time? As these tanky cryptids do like to eat your ammunition, but offer nothing in return. So sometimes you might be better off watching from a safe distance instead. But if you do choose to engage, then the two variants do differ slightly, with the standard Ogwa being more defensive, sometimes retreating inside its shell for protection, while the bleached Ogwa would rather smash the ground to wipe out your AP, and kick up a dust storm to kill your accuracy. Moving on to their origins, they definitely appear to be heavily mutated snapping turtles, which taken alongside their late arrival suggests that maybe they are a post-war cryptid transformed by radiation. That being said, one faction does believe that they could be much older than that, as the followers of the Winged One, worshippers of the red-eyed Holy Mothman, have hunted the Ogre and Sacramental Glade to harvest its blood, which they think is actually ancient and holds secrets of long ago, making it a worthy sacrifice for their cryptid of choice. An interesting but ultimately unproven theory that means the Ogre stays in Unsolved for now, and joining it is the cryptid the cultists hope to sacrifice it to.
Red eyes to witness the future, purple to see the lies, but orange? Green? That remains to be seen.
Stalking the dark forests of Appalachia, the Mothman remains one of Fallout 76's greatest mysteries. A cryptid creature that is not a singular entity, with numerous Mothmen having a variety of different eye colours and temperaments. Some will stalk you, others will hunt you, some are worshipped and others impart wisdom, made all the more confusing by close ties to another one of Fallout 76's greatest mysteries. But there are some things that we do know for sure. Speaking to a member of the Enlightened, allies of the non-hostile Wise Mothman, we learned that it wasn't born this way.
His wisdom was not his at birth.
Her brother actually being eaten by hatchlings after attempting to clone him. And speaking to a member of the opposing cult, Stephen Scarberry, we learn that he can be wrong.
The dust from the Mothman's wings prevents sickness,
as the Mothman can become very sick indeed. So perhaps forms of corruption, cosmic influence, and certain environmental factors are actually responsible for the different variants. And although there are plenty of those, finding one isn't always easy, with certain activities, seasonal events, daily quests, and simply checking their favourite perches in the dead of night, all giving you a chance to see one up close. But what comes next depends on the Mothman you find, as the vengeful, glowing, and scorched variants will be eager to stick around and fight, attacking you with sonic waves, aggressive vocalizations, and occasionally even biting, while some of the others might choose to disengage before finally disappearing in a plume of black smoke. A getaway technique that another cryptid also uses.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. At least, not yet.
Inspired by a cryptid of the same name, meeting the smiling man on your travels,
salutations,
definitely leaves an impression, because this unsettling entity, who introduces himself as Indrid Cold, is also very interested in finding other cryptids, for unknown reasons, even asking for your recommendation on what he should look for next.
Am I?
But his inclusion is also tied to one cryptid in particular.
Ever dance with the devil under a blue moon?
As the smiling man served as something of a herald for the arrival of the Blue Devil, a fast and extremely aggressive cryptid that not only looks like a werewolf, but also howls like one too, using the same uncontrollable fear mechanic as Earl, which meshes extremely well with its built-in damage reduction and resistance to staggering. But much to its surprise, apparently, the Blue Devil can be crippled, although don't wait too long while it's in this state. Sometimes found at random encounter locations, like this spot near Graninger Farm, the easiest way to see one is probably still during the events of Safe and Sound, where a legendary Blue Devil can be found attacking the Middle Mountain pit stop, thanks to malfunctioning repeller generators, a situation that may have been deliberately engineered by their creator Ares, who also happens to be investigating the Blue Devil. An investigation that hasn't gotten very far, with a series of coded messages revealing that Ares hopes to find a Blue Devil with white on it to hunt the mother, and his investigative assistant reports that these cryptids may have mutated from a pre-war breed of something that now grows extremely fast and is aggressive from a young age, perhaps because of that place and what's nearby, which taken together amounts to another solidly unsolved mystery to put with the others. But this isn't the only devilish cryptid in Fallout 76, as heading to the Casino Quarter of Atlantic City to uncover the mysterious origins of a new chem, the Devil's Blood, we find a metropolis under siege from the Pine Barrens, which have overgrown into the city itself and brought a new cryptid along too, scuttling across the rooftops the legendary Jersey Devil. Except not quite, as these lesser devils are actually the juveniles, unwilling donors for the High Roller's chem of choice, and the only thing strong enough to create an antidote is blood harvested from the parent, the real Jersey Devil, which is easier said than done, as this cryptid gets its own boss fight, where it will show off an array of unique abilities before escaping using some form of flight once you have what you came for, leaving plenty of unanswered questions about its origins behind. And then there was one. Returning to Appalachia to meet the star of Fallout 76's latest update, Bigfoot. And the most anticipated uninvited guest, Bigfoot has an uncommon chance to appear after a range of public and seasonal events, with your chances of actually seeing him boosted anytime Bigfoot's Big Bash is active. But what do we know about Fallout's version of this cryptid legend? Well, he's camera shy, he can't be crippled or staggered, and he's a 4-star legendary enemy that will hammer you into the ground of a tree or lob explosive ticks at you from range, which is probably preferable, as finding some cover, ideally at a great height, might be a better option than facing him on the ground. But Bigfoot won't stick around forever, rage quitting into the ether after 5 minutes of screen time, leaving us with plenty of questions. Is Bigfoot really a camera-shy pre-war cryptid, or perhaps something else entirely? Let us know your theories about him and all of the others down in the comments. But with that, this cryptid hunt has reached its end, for now. Special thanks to everyone who helped make this video. We have so many of these mysteries left open-ended, and plenty of others still to be explored. The only sure thing is Bigfoot won't be the last cryptid legend to leave the backwoods.